Hello, welcome to part 2 of the D-Day Tour 2025. It is now 2 minutes to 6 AM. I'm just about to pack up, go down to the ferry port and get on the ferry. So without further ado, I'll catch you up there. Well, I've now found the ferry port. I've checked in, came through the thing is over there, and like Harwich, I've got a bike shed I can hide out of the wind in. So yeah, that's pretty good. Chap came over and he was from the Office of National Statistics, and was talking about, you know, international travellers, and he said, you know, I'm reasonably new to the job, and you're the first cyclist I've asked questions. How I answered all his questions. And yeah, so he said, I feel quite strongly that you know, cyclists should be what's the word I'm looking for? It's too bloody early. You know, counted, for want of a better description. So you know, that's good. And it was all sort of stuff like you know, how much have you spent on your accommodation at the other end and all that kind of thing. And it was all to do with you know, travel and tourism and that sort of thing, and how much it affects the economy. So that was quite interesting. A lady at the toll booth thing there, okay, toll booth, but you know what I mean, the booth, she was very nice. It's yeah, it's I've got my little sticker, the handlebars. So I'm allowed to get on. So yeah, it'd be 6:45 we start embarkation. So I've kind of nicknamed myself Monty for this trip. So Monty will be embarking for his trip over to France. Hello and welcome to the MV Normandy. Behind me is Portsmouth. We're now just rounding the Isle of Wight, which is to my right, and we're then going out to over to Caen, Ouistreham. Actually, let me show you. So that's the Isle of Wight over there. That would be Ryde. Ferry is nowhere near capacity. There's hardly anybody on. The good thing about being on a bike rather than in a car or whatever, you get to overhear the conversations between marshals at the port. And you know, there was 52 cars on board and some trucks, and yeah, it's very sparse. Not that I'm complaining. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ouistreham. And yeah, it took me a little while to get off the ferry, but we're here now. And the security place is down there. I just went straight through, he just waved me through, so that was good. I hope you can hear me. I don't have my mic on at the moment because it's in my bag. Anyway, we're heading now down the canal, which is here, 3.5 miles. The first point of interest on the trip. So folks, I'm now stood at point of interest number 1, and if I pan the camera around, you'll know this place. That in front of me is Pegasus Bridge. So the parachute regiment in horse gliders landed in this area here behind me, just a few minutes after midnight on June 6th, and I also believe that the first casualty, possibly the first casualty of the Operation Overlord, D-Day, unfortunately took place here as they battled the Axis forces that were stationed on the bridge. I mean, it's an amazing bit of flying to get a glider, which is basically a bit of wooden fabric, to land exactly where you want it. And they were widely known as being death traps. Lots of soldiers lost their lives because they broke up on impact and that kind of thing. But I believe, yeah, they landed here, went across the bridge, and completely caught the Axis forces by surprise. I'm going to go a bit further up because there's a bit of a plaque and what have you up there. So this is a bit of a famous sign. British 6th Airborne Division landed here near this bridge on the night of 5th June 1944 as a spearhead to the Allied Armies of Liberation. So the main memorial's on the other side. I'm not going to go past because it's really busy. As you can see, there's French, British, Belgian, Polish, Dutch, American, Norwegian, and I think the last one was the EU flag, I think. My plan was to do a bit of research on this before coming, but I never got round to it, so bear with, I'll do a bit more for tomorrow. But yeah, this as you will notice, I've taken my helmet off, but I've kept my hat on because it's absolutely freezing. It's colder here than back home. And so much so I could see my breath when we got off the ferry, and I was waiting to go through the security check. Yeah, as I was saying, I've taken my helmet off in reverence to the people that have lost their lives here on both sides. It's quite humbling, actually. And I believe this is the original structure as well. I don't think it's changed. And this would have, this needed to be captured because, from memory, this would have prevented the forces landing on the beaches, going inland. So it was quite an important strategic target. This is Richard from the future. The significance of Pegasus Bridge is what you've just seen. This is from a book written by Jan Magdalene. General Gale's paratroopers were to jump during the night of the 5th and of the 6th of June to secure the zone to the east of the River Orne. They were entrusted with a number of tasks. An airborne operation was planned, aimed at taking by surprise the bridges over the Orne and its canal between Benneville and Ranville. Benneville is the bridge at Pegasus Bridge. Both bridges were essential for transferring the reinforcements to support the troops dropped to the east of the river. The aim was consequently to take control of them without opposition. Conversely, 5 bridges over the Dives were to be destroyed to prevent German reinforcements from being rapidly brought in from the east. So basically, the Sword Beach and the bridge at Pegasus, Benneville, was the eastern flank of the Allied invasion. So the importance was to protect that flank from a counter-attack. So I've now got the proper mic on because it's very windy. I was a bit gutted I couldn't put the drone up at Pegasus Bridge, but I might come back over later in the week or the next few days and have a go at it if the wind drops. But I'm back up in Ouistreham now, and this beach you see behind me, this is codenamed Sword Beach. So this is the Allies' most eastern flank on June 6th, and the landing beaches stretch over 80 kilometres west from here, and this was the British segment. And what a lot of people don't realise is that the beaches were then subdivided and then given names. This beach here wasn't used for the landing, or this part. It was further west because there's something offshore, and that was borne out by when the ferry came in. It was having to go between buoys, so the ships couldn't come in close enough. So that was further west, and the code name for those two beaches that were used were Queen, Red and Black. So there were two beaches where they actually landed on. There are so many memorials along here. Basically, I thought I'd done a lot of research, but no, I didn't quite realise how many memorials and what have you. So, you might ask what brought me here, and it's just been on my to-do list for a long time. Actually, now I'm looking at these houses, you can recognise them from those grainy black and white photos of the soldiers coming ashore. So this was a British segment, as I said earlier, and I'm going to flick backwards and forwards. What brought me here is just I've always wanted to come here, Anyway, yes, this was the British segment. British came ashore along with some Poles, Norwegians and some Canadians as well. The main force of Canadians was further west, but 7:20 a.m. June the 6th, after the naval bombardment had finished, the landing craft started coming ashore here, or they left the ships shortly after. They were coming ashore. This wasn't as heavily, they didn't have the problems the Americans had further west, and by 9:30, the beach was declared clear. Hello, Richard from the future again. So what you've already seen me say is that Sword Beach, stretching from Langrune, Sur-Mer to Ouistreham, have been divided into four sectors, organised in alphabetical order: Obo, Peter, Queen and Roger. However, not all sectors were to be used as landing zones. They were large sandbanks offshore, basically, so they weren't suitable. Only Queen sector was used, and this was again subdivided up into white and red, not black and red as I said earlier. Basically, Sword Beach came. The British 3rd Infantry Division came ashore with 25,000 soldiers, consisting of the 8th Brigade, which was the first wave, the 1st Battalion of the South Lancashire Regiment, the 2nd Battalion, the East Yorkshire Regiment, the 1st Battalion of the Suffolk Regiment. The second wave was from the 185th Brigade, consisting of the 2nd Brigade of the King's Shropshire Light Infantry, the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Warwickshire Regiment, the 1st Battalion of the Royal Norfolk Regiment. The third wave was the 9th Brigade. This consisted of the 2nd Battalion of the Lincolnshire Regiment, the 1st Battalion of the King's Own Scottish Borderers, and the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Ulster Rifles. So it's quite a mouthful, that. Well, this is a Churchill tank. It's British design. Now, I'm not too sure on British tanks. I'm wondering if that's a flamethrower on there. The reason why I say that, if you look, you've got the big bit on the end. Who knows? I might look this up. You might have a few Richards from the future in this, because another memorial all the way along the coast there was various photos, things like that, you know. I just had no idea how big a thing it is, you know. Anyway, we're heading west. I'm staying out in Aramarch tonight. It's famous for the Mulberry Harbour. It's about 15 miles away, so you know, I want to try and get there before it gets dark. So, ladies and gentlemen, the beach here is Juno. So this is the Canadian beach, and so the North Shore, the New Brunswick Regiment, the 48th Royal Marine Commandos came ashore here on June 6th, 1944. This weather is shocking. It's meant to be really good the rest of the week. Let's hope so. So, come out, play the blinder again. The road to my right, which is pretty busy, has put me onto this path. There's a weird bloke back there doing Tai Chi or something. Anyway, 12k to go. That's a visual representation of the sheer logistics involved in, you know, Operation Overlord. This is a bridge pontoon that was used to get the equipment ashore. By the end of the day on the June 6, 1944, 151,000 troops were ashore. I'm now overlooking Aramarch, which is where I'm actually staying tonight, but there's a memorial here, and it's the first place I've come to where it's hit home what the history here. There's a 360 cinema over there, and there's a bit of an exhibit outside, and it was playing a bit of a cover version of John Lennon. And as I came down the path here, it was a real surreal experience with that playing as well. It stopped as I got here because I was thinking of a copyright strike or something, but no, it's yeah. Anyway, well, folks, this is in my room now in Hotel de Normandy, and yeah, it was. I walked down into town, and a guy came running up behind me, and he goes, "Oh, monsieur, you've dropped your gloves." And I thought I'd literally just dropped them, and I hadn't. I dropped them up at that memorial, and he'd followed me all the way down. Anyway, I was gobsmacked. Thank you very much. Anyway, my room for the next 3 nights. And they were very kind, and they've put my bike in the spare dining room, so it's in the dry and safe and everything else. And you know, looking out at the view, and I've got the view of that monument. I mean, wow. I walked down it because that first part is so steep. So steep. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, I'm tired today. Very tired. You know, we might as well call it was 117 point something miles yesterday. Might as well have called it 200k really. And towing those ready panniers around is unbelievable. You know, it's surprising how much all that weight makes, you know, in terms of effort. So that's also a good thing for, you know, getting rid of the weight. Anyway, I forgot to show you the bathroom. The toilet in the window, because I got a poo with a view. Find the right part. There we go, you can see now. Back out. My shower. Yeah. Gonna do the job for a few nights. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap the video up here, and I will pick you up in the morning.